Morning, y'all. Breakfast time here, and thought we'd have us a nice little quick breakfast this morning based off of what was in the French ration. Just going to do something really simple. We've got our commando bar because supposedly it has caffeine in it, so it's best to have in the morning, although some people might want to save it for midday. We're going to do it today. We've got our plum jam we're going to use with some of our biscuits. Got our coffee, no sugar, no creamer, just regular, just plain coffee. And our cocoa beverage powder. We're going to do those two together. And we have our travel lunch. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to actually go a little reversed. It says to pour in 100 milliliters of water. But we're going to go in an opposite direction. We're going to put 100 milliliters of water in this nice little bowl. Then we're going to open this up. Let's take a look at it real quick. Remember, this is strawberry muesli. You can see that in there. It's just dried strawberry pieces and oats, other nice assorted things. A nice little view. So what we're going to do is we're going to add that to the 100 milliliters of water. And it says to give that 5 minutes. That's why we're doing it first. All right. So while we got that going, we're going to go ahead and mix up our drinks here. This one calls for 15 milliliters, 150 milliliters. I got my trusty thermos sitting here with some nice hot water. All right, have our 150 milliliters there. And for those of y'all asking, 150 milliliters comes in roughly about 5 ounces. Y'all know we still use imperial measurements over here in the US, so. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and sprinkle the cocoa in here. That goes in the trash bag. Got our coffee. Calls for 140 milliliters, so about the same amount. Which is going to perfectly kill the rest of my water here. Had a nice thermos full of hot water here just for this information. There we go. Let's get that in our coffee mug here. Y'all both know, all of y'all know that what I'm going to be doing is mixing both of these together at the end to make a mocha beverage powder. But to start out, we're going to try them individually. Alrighty. Ooh, now that has a really good coffee smell. Better than some of the other instance I've had, and it's once it hits that hot water, the smell goes everywhere like an actual good cup of brewed coffee. So that's a positive sign, because unfortunately I've noticed with some instance they tend to be kind of flat in the smell department. You don't really get much of a hint of them outside of the cup, so that's going to be really nice to see. Now, what I did with the crackers is I did two. I did the chocolate cracker that they had. Which you can see there. And I also did the cereal cracker, which is the non-salted one and the one they used to put in for the quote-unquote sweetness type flavor. So I figured both of these would be good for breakfast this morning. And we're going to try those with a little bit of this jam. Now, force of habit, getting stuff out of MREs as long as I have. Anything in a packet like this, cheese spread, peanut butter, always needed a little bit just to be safe. Now this actually has a nice little tear notch there, so it's supposed to come apart real easy, and it does. And I'm not even going to fully tear it apart. Well, I am going to fully tear it apart. There we go. All right, you see you got a nice little opening there. Just enough to squeeze out a nice little line of jam. All right. All right, so we got everything pretty much ready to go. Now, since of course we saw in the unboxing video that little small fold-up spork that they gave for you to use to eat all this with, I'm a big old boy. I can't use something that small to try to shovel stuff in. It's about like using the Fred out of the RCIR to try to eat with. Good for some small things, but not for real eating. So we're going to use our Minotaur Trading Company spork. Nice little gift from Minotaur Trading Company. Nice little survival item. Pull it out of the handle. It includes a knife and a bottle opener. That is a sharp knife, I can already tell you that. The handle itself doubles as a whistle. So got this that we're going to use for our eating in this video. And I went ahead and tied my lanyard on so I could just hang it around my neck and not lose it. So got everything ready to go here. Let me tuck that in out of the way real quick. Alrighty, so mix up our muesli. It's nice and thick. Honestly, could use just a touch more water. Not sure what fell behind me, but it'll wait. And add just a little more water to moisten that up a touch more. Yeah, that's looking good. Not quite what I am used to as a morning cereal, but it's workable. Give our cocoa a stir here because we never did that. And our coffee. All right. Oh, and we never opened our commando bar, so let me get that open for you to take a look at here. Nice, small, mini little bar. When you crack it open, it's like a little fudge bar type of thing. It's cafe flavored, so we're going to give that a try and see how it goes. So, all right, let's start with some of our muesli here. As you can see, it's a nice oaty porridgey type breakfast. The strawberries rehydrated very well. They're firm but not hard. And you got the creamy nuttiness of the porridge or the muesli. So, honestly though, it needs something. It's like it's missing something. I'm not sure what, but it tastes like it needs just a little something. All right. Well, take a quick bite of our commando bar here. Well, it's got some crunchy pieces in it. Can't really tell looking at it, except for maybe they're in the bottom a little bit. Not a heavy coffee flavor, really sweet. I'd say more of like a cafe latte or a cappuccino type flavor. Sweet, creamy with a hint of coffee flavor. Still pretty good. Behind that, let's start with our cereal biscuits. We're going to take a bite both ways. I'm going to start off with just a regular cereal. Again, some sweetness to it and some nuttiness. So, definitely works better as one of these sweeter items instead of a savory. Although it would probably blend well with the savory as well, and we're going to find that out later when we get to the pate and the cheese. Now let's try one with some jam. That jam is good. Those two go together real well. Well, let's see how the chocolate is. The first chocolate plain by itself. Honestly, very mild cocoa-y flavor, but not too far off from that. Again, it's mildly sweet, not heavily sweet. But you definitely get that cocoa coming through. So let's see how it does with the jam on it. Honestly, it's all right. Nothing really to write home about. I think the cocoa biscuits are actually better without the jam. Just by themselves. It's almost like eating, because they're not really hard like Snap. They've got a bit of softness to them. You don't have a major crunch, so, I mean, they're stiff, you can see. But they're not like shatter stiff like you see with like the MRE crackers or something like that. Now, I'm going to do some coffee now. Just because of all that sweet, I want something non-sweet to help clear my palate. Not bad. A little bit darker roast. I like a good Colombian flavor. This is a little bit darker. Ironically, I would say closer to a French roast. Yes, you can go ahead and laugh about that. Definitely needs a little cream or something to cut through because it does have a bitter afterwards. But not too bad. I've had a lot of worse coffees, especially some of that stuff they've been putting in the MREs lately that's coffee-like beverage. They put it nicely, that Genadol and that Devil coffee. So, but it is a good cup of coffee, even with that bit of bitterness at the end. Which, of course, brings us to the final item, the cocoa. There we go. middle of the road. I mean, honestly, I've had better and I've had worse. It's a cocoa beverage drink. It's nowhere near as rich as like the Dutch hot chocolate I've had before was. Here in the U.S., I would put it on par with like a packet of Swiss Miss cocoa. Maybe using a little bit less water would have brought out the flavor a little bit more. But as we said we were going to do, we're going to make a mocha now that we've tried both of those together. We're going to see how they do like that. But first, there's something I'm curious about. I'm going to take a bite of this porridge here. And I'm going to add some of this jam to it. So like I say, it was missing something, and I was thinking, maybe a packet of sugar or, something like that, but maybe the jam is what it needs. So let me try this, see what happens. That does help a lot. That does. I'll tell you what we're going to do then. We're going to put a little jam on that biscuit there. And we're going to bring the rest over here. There we go. That has us everything ready. So, all right, let's try our mocha mix here, see how they do together. As a wake-up breakfast drink, it's okay. As a camp mocha, not really. Like I said, breakfast drink, I'll drink it. Not a problem there, but well, from what I understand, the French aren't really big on breakfast anyway. They usually don't eat that much. French and Italian both, from what I've heard, usually do a very light breakfast, maybe some croissants. And then lunch is the big first meal of the day, so to speak. So we're going to enjoy our muesli and the rest of our crackers or biscuits here. So I'm going to finish breakfast, folks. I'll see y'all back in a little bit once we have lunch.